Of course, a significant goal in the title race, with Arsenal coming from behind to beat Aston Villa. It puts Arteta's side back to the top of the table, 2 points clear now of the defending champions. Craig, obviously you were on yesterday, but I know you were really impressed with Arsenal.
This was... Oh, somebody's gone. This was a real gutsy performance. Never mind the football. It was a poor start, and at 2-1, we're thinking, is this going to continue at half-time? Is this going to continue, this slump? And how can it go from being such a positive start to the season or half of the season to falling apart? But the response in the second half from Arsenal, I thought, was arguably the best we've seen from them this season. Just because they were up against it, just because everybody's was now thinking they've gone. But the football that they played in that second half, the chances that he created, even when Odegaard missed that pretty much a sitter like he did, even though Saka was getting the ankles wrapped and the Achilles with studs down it, they just kept plugging away and plugging away. I thought Arsenal were absolutely superb. Yes, Ramsdale had to make some great saves. Yep. You know, when Leon Bailey came on and they made changes. And yes, the fourth goal came from the corner kick when Martinez goes up. But I thought that was one of the best turnarounds that we've seen this season from any club, particularly in the circumstances. Particularly, I mean, how would they have came back from that? Yeah. Another defeat. I mean, that would have been soul-destroying. That dressing room must have been buzzing after that game. How
impressed were you with that second-half performance, Nathan?
Yeah, it was. It certainly was something. I think some people are very keen to write off Arsenal. They're looking at some of the results, thinking, oh, this is them, this is their collapse, the inevitable collapse of Arsenal. But the way that they were able to come back against a side that's in good form, that side that took the lead, and, you know, playing away from home in the second half of the season is very, very tough because everybody's playing for something. And with the 20, 30, 40,000 fans that'd be rooting against you, it's a tough situation to be in. But they dug in and they broke a lot of Man City hearts on that game because so many were tuning in thinking they're going to do it, they're going to drop points, But that reaction is amazing. Given how poor they've been in the last couple of weeks or so results-wise, it was a must-win for them because before you know it, City would have been entering that next game thinking, well, here's our chance to even level things up on a sort of game-to-game basis. So fair play to them. But then I'm not really surprised. I still quite like Arsenal. You called me diplomatic the last time I was on talking about them. But at the end of the day, like the top of the league for a reason. It didn't happen by accident. They have got something about them, and I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, won the next few games from this point because for them, this is what they've been doing throughout the whole season.
Who's winning the league, Jan?
Oh, yeah. As it stands now, it will be Arsenal, wouldn't it? And I'm with the boys. First of all, fantastic. There are 3 teams who could win it. I mean, if you follow some leagues, that's not always the case, and not always been the case in England either. But I'm very with the boys. I think that win yesterday for Arsenal, that was maybe the most important win they've had all season. Because I was at Goodison and I saw what Sean Dyche, Everton, did to them. And the problem is not that other teams sees what Everton is doing to them. The problem is the Arsenal players see what people are doing to them. And in the second half yesterday, they stood up for themselves. That was a solid performance. And I think that when we'll write this season's history, I think this could be one of the key games, going to Aston Villa and win that in the dying minutes.
Yeah, that Jorginho goal, you feel...
He needed that.
Yeah.
He needed it because he's come in, a Chelsea player, ex-Chelsea player. Partey's been a brilliant player for him, very much a fan's favourite. And he comes in and, he's slowing the game down. He's not got the defensive qualities. That'll do his confidence the world of good. Obviously, Zinchenko scored the great goal. I mean, the marking from a set piece from a corner from Aston Villa is just horrendous. So Arsenal took full advantage of it. If you noticed, Arsenal, they take a lot of short corners.
Yes.
Odegaard goes across and they always take a short corner. They're always looking to do something different. They don't always just whip it in. And if you're not alive to that, they're going to punish you. So I thought going down that right side in particular in the second half, they were excellent. Ben White got forward for them a lot. And then Tomiyasu come on. I mean, honestly, plucking defeat, victory from the jaws of defeat, basically. So, yeah, brilliant performance from them. Still got Partey to come back. Martinelli was obviously left out the side. I think Martinelli will be back in the side. Trossard's a tidy player.
Right.
But he doesn't give them what Martinelli can give them. And I do think, honestly, I think Saka, I think Saka, or any player getting the kind of punishment he's getting, should get a bit more protection.
Right.
I really do. And we saw it in the Man City game, I think it was Bernardo Silva, but we saw it again in the Arsenal game. And it happens a lot. It happened at the World Cup, actually, when he was playing for England. And he gets roughed up a lot, Saka. He handles it, he picks himself up, he's a strong boy. I actually think a lot of players across the league are getting away with a lot, particularly on that player. He's a marked man, that's for sure.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Saka's Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United will finish in the top 4. But who will join them? As it stands, it is Spurs that are sitting in 4th after a 2-0 victory against West Ham. The bookies, however, still have Newcastle and Liverpool favourites ahead of Spurs to take that 4th place. Liverpool, of course, with that win yesterday against Newcastle, it puts them just now 7 points off a top 4 place. They've got 2 games in hand. Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.